Okay.
All right, for my social media takeover project, I'm working with the Napa County Animal Shelter. So I put together a presentation about shelter animals looking for their forever home and how to use social media to do it. Here's our logo. So we're going to stick with this blue theme. Obviously the animals, incorporating everything that we've got, dogs, cats, bunnies, and birds, and miscellaneous animals that come through the shelter from the local community. This is our starting point. As you can see here, the page, we have 8 followers, 16 posts. You can see there's not a lot of audience growth, low engagement. Most of the posts are getting 1 to 2 likes or interactions. So this kind of gives us a blank slate to start with while we reach a larger audience and hopefully find homes for these animals. So what I've been doing is I've been creating content with pictures from dogs in the shelter, cats in the shelter, bunnies in the shelter, as well as some animals that have been placed already in their homes and have been adopted and are no longer with the shelter, or they are graduated from the shelter. I've done a lot of grid posts. I've done videos, or reels as they're called with Instagram, and stories, which stories are just a little bit shorter. They are only up for 24 hours, and they give you a quick little, less formal interaction with your audience. We've noticed that the highest engagement has been our reels. I've put in some examples here. We have one of a chicken because we did adopt out a chicken from the shelter a few months ago. Then we had the kittens, and of course a dog at her forever home here. We've noticed that the posts with the younger animals, the babies, tend to do a little bit better. We're seeing over 300 views per video. They get sent around a little bit more. They get more comments. People like the cute fuzzy ones. A lot of people did not realize that chickens can be adopted from the shelter, so that received a lot of feedback, mostly, wow, I had no idea you could adopt a chicken. And so it definitely boosts our audience engagement. Some of our lowest engagement posts have been the grid posts, which are just pictures, not a reel or a story post. They have a permanent spot on the profile. They just don't interact as much. The algorithms kind of tend to favor video content more than picture content. Again, we're using, a little guy after surgery, talking about how it's great for him to be in the foster program so he gets to recover at home instead of in the shelter. This one was a little bit of an educational post about why do cats like to sit in boxes. We also included this post in a story to see if we could get a little bit more interaction with it, and it ended up performing better on the story. We had more people answering to it, more people saying, guessing why cats sleep in boxes and whatnot. So that got a little bit more traction than just the grid post. So our strategy moving forward, we're going to take all of that into account, focus a little bit more on video content, story content. As you can see, we're already up to 50 followers, so this is 42 followers with just 11 posts since our last, from where we started. And this gives us a lot of growing room. We've learned, like I said, that the videos tend to do a little bit better. We're going to focus a little bit more on those, and then also getting more videos and pictures from people who've already adopted their animals and finding ways to incorporate the success stories more into the content. Do you guys have any questions?
How many animals are in the shelter, like dogs, cats?
So annually we saw about 6.5 million animals actually are entering into the shelter systems nationwide, and only 3.5 million are actually getting adopted out. Yeah, a little sad, but we need to drive, more traffic to the websites by utilizing social media. It allows us to reach a larger audience than just people Googling where to adopt animals. This encourages people to see how they can connect with these animals and drive them to, hey, maybe I should go down to the animal shelter and either volunteer or adopt. Anything else?
Are there any rules or restrictions on adopting an animal?
There is a process and there are fees surrounding that. They have to do a meet and greet with the family. You have to, if you're renting, you have to talk to the landlord, of course, make sure it meets all requirements with your lease. And they often do, if you already have pets in your home, they'll do a meet and greet with the dogs, or you know, if you have kids, they come to meet. The whole family has to meet the animal prior to them getting to go home. And that's just to make sure that we're finding the perfect fit for these animals and making sure that they are going to be in their forever home.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time.